Did you know you can save databases in the AutoCAD environment? In this video, we're going to use that to save different layer states. So for each layer state, you can save the color of the layers, which layer is on or off, which layer is frozen, and the opacity of each layer. Now, the reason you may want to do that is for different phase plans. So let's say for phase 1, you want to turn on and off different layers, you want to freeze different layers. For phase 2, you might have also to freeze or change colors of different layers. Also for phase 3, using these functions will help you switch between different layer states very easily. Now, in order to achieve that, we're going to create 4 main functions. Save layer state, which saves a certain layer state. After you've turned on and off certain layers, you can save it. Apply layer states, where you can apply any one of the saved layer states that you've already done. Update layer states, where you can update a layer state. Let's say you made a mistake and you want to update it, you want the different layers to turn on and off, you can update a layer state. And delete layer state. Let's say, for example, you have so many layer states you want to and you don't use all of them, then you can delete the ones that you want. So to get started, we're going to open Visual Studio, create a new project. We're going to use the CAD project template. Again, if you don't have this CAD project template, go back to the first video where I show you how to create this. Next, and we're going to call this CAD databases. Create. Now that I have Visual Studio set up, the first thing I'm going to do is copy all of this code. This code, you can find it in the link in the description. Go to copy and paste. Now that I've added my code, let's go through each function and explain what it does. So the first helper function that we have, sanitize key. The only reason for this function is when you add a name for the layer state, sometimes if you add spaces or you add certain characters, AutoCAD is not able to save that name. So what this does, for example, is instead of a space, it will add an underscore so that that name can be saved. Now, in order to explain how these functions work, I'm going to give an analogy just so that we can understand better. You can imagine the way that AutoCAD saves information is in a big filing cabinet, and this cabinet has drawers. So each drawer has a label, and that's how we can retrieve information that is put inside this drawer. So in our case, the example will be, for each layer you will have the color, you will have is it frozen, is it on and off, and the opacity. So the get dictionary is to get the name of this cabinet, because in AutoCAD you can have multiple cabinets, each one having its own information. The save data function will save information in a drawer. So what it will do is it will create a new drawer and save layer information into that drawer. Get data will look at these drawers and get the information that you need. Delete data will remove all the information from a certain drawer. Get keys will get all the labels available. So each drawer has a label. It will get all the labels that are available in order to choose one of them. Prompt for existing state uses the get keys. It gets all the label and puts them in a Windows form so that you can select one of the options. So now we move on to the main functions. Save layer state. What it will do in the AutoCAD environment is it will allow you to choose a name, choose a label for this layer state, and then it will save all the information of layers in that cabinet so that it can be retrieved later. Apply layer state. So after you've saved, let's say, several layer states, you're able to choose between them. What apply layer state will do, it will give you a menu of all the states that you've saved, and you can apply any one of them. Update layer state, you can also choose any one of existing layer states, but what it will do, it will override the layers you've already turned on and off at that moment into the layer state that you select. Delete layer state just deletes one of the layer states. Now we're going to see how this works in practice. So we're going to launch this application. Next thing we're going to do is load the application, then debug and choose the DLL file. Okay, so for this demonstration, let's start changing some layers and saving them. So what I'm going to do is freeze these layers and then save layer state. I'm going to call it phase 1. Now the next step, let's turn everything on and save it as phase 2. So the next thing, let's try and apply one of these layer states. So right now you can see we have all the layers on. So if I put apply layer state and I want to apply phase 1, select, you can see that all the layers I froze before and saved it in phase 1 are now frozen again. So let's say we want to update this. We'll freeze different layers and we'll turn some of these on. And now I'm going to update this. Update layer state. I'm going to update phase 2. Select. So now I'm going to apply different layer states and you can see how attributes of the layers changed. Apply layer state. Let's apply phase 1. You can see whatever I saved for phase 1 is applied. And now I'm going to apply phase 2. And as you can see, the layer state that I overrided is now applied. Now the last function I'm going to check is delete layer state. I'm going to delete phase 1, select. And now if I want to apply a layer state, you can see only phase 2 is available. Now I've used this personally with developing phase site plans. What you can do is for each phase you have different layers you want to turn on and off, then also use different colors, and it allows you to easily switch between different phases and have everything on one drawing instead of having several drawings for each phase. Again, if you have any questions, please let me know in the comments, and thank you for watching.